Getting rich is not complicated. People like to pretend it is. They talk about it like it is some mysterious formula locked inside elite circles, like only a chosen few were handed the code at birth and everyone else is just supposed to guess. But the reality is far simpler than that. Wealth is not complicated. It is uncomfortable. It does not require genius. It does not require a perfect background. It does not require luck or timing or connections you do not have yet. What it requires is something far rarer than any of those things. Brutal honesty with yourself and the courage to act on what you see. Most people do not fail to become wealthy because it is impossible. They fail because they refuse to face the price. They want wealth wrapped in comfort. They want success without pressure. They want the result without the process. But the world does not negotiate on this. Never has, never will. In this video, I am going to strip away every comfortable illusion about money that has been keeping you exactly where you are. And I am going to replace those illusions with the cold, precise truth about how wealth actually gets built. Pay close attention, because by the end of this video, you will not be able to unsee what I am about to show you. Part 1. The script that was written for you. From the time you were old enough to understand language, someone was already writing your financial script. Work hard, study, get a stable job, save a little, be responsible, hope for the best. This is the script that billions of people follow, faithfully, completely. And most of them end up exhausted, underpaid, and wondering what went wrong. Here is the question nobody asked. Who wrote that script, and what was it designed to produce? Think about it carefully. The traditional path was not designed to create independent wealth builders. It was designed to create reliable workers, stable consumers, predictable participants in an economic system that depends on most people staying exactly where they are. Schools teach you how to follow instructions. They rarely teach you how to sell, how to negotiate, how to build a business, how to create assets, how to think about leverage. Why? Because someone who genuinely masters those skills no longer depends on the system. They build their own path, and independent people are difficult to manage. The wealthy recognized this reality long ago. They did not blindly follow the script. They studied it, they understood it, and then they wrote their own. Stop following a script that was never designed to take you where you want to go. That is not rebellion, that is intelligence. Part 2. The Power Trinity. Own, control, multiply. Every person who has ever built serious wealth, in any era, in any industry, in any part of the world, has operated on 3 core principles. Own, control, multiply. That is the entire formula. Everything else is detail. Most people are taught to trade. Trade time for money. Show up, perform tasks, receive payment. Stop showing up, payment stops. The equation is perfectly symmetrical and perfectly limiting. Ownership breaks that equation entirely. When you own something, a business, a system, a brand, an asset that generates value, the equation changes. You are no longer trading hours for dollars. You are holding a position that produces results, whether you are present or not. But ownership alone is not enough. Control is what determines whether that ownership means anything. The person who owns something they cannot control does not actually own it. They are just listed on a document. Real ownership is the ability to direct the asset, to make decisions about it, to protect it, to grow it. And multiplication is where real wealth acceleration happens. Not just owning one thing, building systems that compound, assets that generate returns that fund more assets, networks that create opportunities that fund more networks. This is not abstract. This is the actual structure of every serious fortune ever built. Own something real, control it completely, then multiply it relentlessly. Part 3. The real price of safety. Most people chase safety their entire lives. A safe job, a safe neighborhood, a safe investment, a safe decision at every fork. And I understand the appeal. Safety feels responsible. Safety feels like wisdom. Safety feels like what a mature adult is supposed to want. But here is what safety actually costs you. Safety is not free. It comes at a price, and that price is paid in options. Every time you choose safety over risk, you pay with 1 degree of freedom. one possibility removed from your future, one door that closes while you stand inside the one that was already open. Accumulate enough of those decisions, and you have not built a safe life. You have built a cage so comfortable that you stopped noticing the bars. The truly wealthy do not chase safety, they chase control. Control over their time, control over their income, control over the direction of their lives. And here is the critical distinction. Safety is passive. You seek it, you find it, you protect it. Control is active. You build it, you expand it, you fight for it. The person seeking safety is always at the mercy of circumstances. One economic shift, one company restructuring, one health crisis, and the safety dissolves. The person building control has something different. They have positioned themselves to create outcomes rather than react to them. Strategic risk is not the opposite of wisdom. It is the definition of it. Part 4. Leverage over LABOR. Here is a truth that will feel offensive if you have spent your life being rewarded for working hard. Effort alone does not determine outcomes. Leverage does. Think about the hardest working people you know. The construction worker who starts at 5 in the morning, the nurse who pulls double shifts, the small business owner who never takes a day off. Nobody works harder than these people, but their income is tied directly to one thing: whether they show up. Stop showing up and the money stops. That is not leverage, that is a leash. Now think about how wealth actually accumulates. The person who builds a product once and sells it 1,000 times. The person who creates content once and earns from it for years. The person who builds a system that generates results while they are sleeping, traveling, living. The difference is not effort, it is multiplication. Labor scales exhaustion. Leverage scales impact. Every hour of your effort that produces only one result is an inefficient hour. The question you should be asking is not how can I work more? It is how can I make 1 hour of effort produce 10 results? That is the leverage question, and it is the question that separates the people who stay tired from the people who build freedom. The internet has made this more achievable than at any point in human history. One video, one piece of content, one digital product, one system built correctly can reach millions of people and generate value for years. The infrastructure already exists. The only question is whether you are using it or ignoring it. Part 5. Skill is a weapon. Forget the degree on the walls. Forget the credentials. Forget the certificate. Forget the title. In the modern world, skill is what creates value, and value is what creates income. Not degrees, not titles, not papers hanging on a wall. Real, practical skills that produce results in the real world. Sales, writing, design, marketing, persuasion, negotiation, coding, public speaking, distribution. These are the skills that build empires today, because every great business, every powerful brand, every successful venture is built on value creation. And value is created by people who have skills that others need. Here is the shift that changes everything. Stop asking what credential can I get. Start asking what problem can I solve and what skill do I need to solve it at the highest level. The person who can sell will never be unemployed. The person who can write with power will never be invisible. The person who understands marketing will never struggle to find customers. Choose one skill, not 5, not 10, one. Then sharpen it with the obsession of someone who understands it is a weapon. Practice when others relax. Study when others scroll. Improve when others complain. Because mastery does something powerful. It builds confidence, and confidence attracts opportunity. When you become genuinely excellent at something valuable, people notice. Doors open that were previously invisible. You stop needing to chase opportunities because opportunities begin to find you. Skill creates value. Value attracts money. And the more value you can create, the more money moves toward you. Part 6. Fear, desire, and the psychology of wealth. Here is something most financial advice completely ignores. Human beings do not make decisions based on logic. They make decisions based on emotion, on fear, on desire, on the hunger to feel respected, powerful, loved, and safe. And the people who build the most wealth understand this not as cynicism, but as clarity. They do not just sell products, they sell transformation, they sell identity, they sell the feeling of becoming someone different. Look at the most successful brands in the world. They do not focus on the product itself. They focus on how owning that product makes you feel: confidence, power, status, belonging. That is not manipulation. That is the honest recognition of how humans actually operate. When you can connect what you offer to what people genuinely want at the deepest level, you will never struggle to create value. Learn what people fear. Learn what people desire. Position what you offer at the intersection of those two forces. That is not a trick. That is insight, and insight creates influence, and influence creates wealth. Part 7. The price of rising. There is something nobody prepares you for when you begin to build real wealth. The resistance. Not the market resistance, not the financial resistance, the human resistance. The moment you start rising, people notice, and not everyone celebrates. Some will whisper, some will question your motives, some will say you changed. They will say you got lucky. They will say you became someone they do not recognize anymore. And here is the truth they will not see. They will not see the nights you stayed awake learning while they were relaxing. They will not see the risks you took while they hesitated. They will not see the pressure you carried while they played it safe. They will only see the result, and sometimes they will resent you for it. This is not a warning to stop you. It is a warning to prepare you. You cannot pursue extraordinary results while expecting universal approval. Those two things have never coexisted. They never will. The question is not whether resistance will come. It will come. The question is whether you have decided in advance that the result is worth more than the approval. Make that decision now, before the resistance arrives, because people who decide in the middle of the storm rarely choose correctly. Part 8. Making money and keeping it. Building wealth and keeping wealth are two completely different skills. Most financial advice focuses entirely on the first. Almost none of it focuses on the second. Here is the reality. Many people who build real income lose it faster than they earned it. Why? Because they confuse wealth with status. They try to look rich instead of staying rich. They buy expensive liabilities. They spend to impress people they do not respect. And slowly, sometimes quickly, what they built dissolves. The truly wealthy think differently. They spend strategically. They do not feel the need to prove their position to strangers. They focus on assets, things that produce income, things that appreciate, things that protect their future. Every dollar becomes a decision, not a reward, a decision. Where does this dollar go to work? What does it produce? How does it compound? The person who asks those questions every time builds a different relationship with money than the person who spends based on feeling. Money is not a reward for working. It is a tool for building. Treat it like one. Part 9. What wealth actually buys. Here is the uncomfortable conclusion that every wealthy person eventually reaches. Wealth is not about the things you can own. Not the car, not the house, not the watch, not the jet. Those are symbols, echoes, sometimes distractions. Real wealth is sovereignty. Sovereignty over your time. The ability to spend Tuesday morning exactly as you choose without asking anyone for permission. Sovereignty over your relationships. The ability to choose who you work with and who you do not. Sovereignty over your direction. The ability to build towards something that matters to you rather than maintaining someone else's vision. If someone else owns your schedule, you are not wealthy, no matter what the number in your account says. If someone else controls your options, you are not free, no matter how impressive the lifestyle appears. This is why the greatest builders eventually think beyond themselves. They think about legacy, not just money for today, systems that provide for their family long after they are gone, ideas that continue shaping the world, impact that outlives the name. That is the final stage of wealth, creation that outlives the creator. The closing. So here is where we end. Not with motivation, not with empty promises, with a question. What part of the script that was written for you are you still following, even though you know it was never written to take you where you want to go? Because the path exists, it has always existed. It is not hidden, It is not locked behind connections you do not have or resources you have not accumulated yet. It is blocked by one thing only: the decision to step off the path that someone else designed for you and start building the one that leads where you actually want to go. No one is coming to rescue you. Not your employer, not the government, not a lucky break. Your future depends entirely on the actions you choose to take beginning from the moment this video ends. The world does not need more people who understand these ideas intellectually. It needs more people who act, while everyone else is still waiting to feel ready. The path has always been there, hidden in plain sight. Simple, brutal, waiting for someone bold enough to walk it. Now the illusions are gone. The truth is clear. The script ends here, and your story begins.